All right, so we have a little bit of news this week. We've done a few videos that have come out already periodically through the week. This is going to be anything that we haven't dealt with in those videos, of course. Some new camera information in regards to Canon, and Apple released new iMacs. So we'll talk a little bit about those as well. First off, let's talk about Canon. So Canon has, in the rumor mill, because we like the rumors, so the rumors now for Canon are that they are having a new lineup with the Cinema EOS R. So right now it looks like two primary cameras. Again, the names aren't confirmed, but so the first one would be the Canon Cinema EOS R200. Now, these would all be based off the RF mount. Bonus, of course, is that with Canon investing so much into their RF glass, as well as for those of us that have EF glass, the nice thing is all the RF bodies with adapters can still use that, so that's still a big perk. But let's look at the specifications of the R200. Super 35 4K sensor, no IBIS. Strangely enough, it doesn't look like any of the RF cinema style cameras will have IBIS. RF mount, of course, internal ND of 10 stops, CLog 2 and 3. Here's the one that's a little different: 420 8-bit internally onto SD cards, and 4K 60 and 1080 120. So very similar to the Canon R6, except that it's going to be 420 8-bit versus the R6 having 422 10-bit. So a little step back. No RAW. Dual LP-E6 NH battery slots, cool, having dual battery slots, and price at $3,500 basically US dollars. So I would think that this camera would be a really nice complement to someone that has the R6, either using the R6 as the A camera and the Cinema as the B, or vice versa. Big one, of course, that we've seen with the R6 is it still does have some overheating issues when it has been running for a fair bit of time, unless you are recording to an external device. So having something like this R200 could be nice, because my guess would be that this would have no overheating issues. This could either be the A or the backup camera for the R6, possibly as it cools down. But at $34.99 to get you into a cinema camera, that's actually not too bad. Moving up the chain, we go into the R300. Again, these are not confirmed names. Super 35 4K, no IBIS again, RF mount, internal ND, 10 stops, CLog 2 and 3. But now we go to 422 10-bit onto SD cards, and 4K 120 and 2K 180. So now we're getting a little closer with the R300 to the R5. Big difference, of course, is this one does not have IBIS, and again does not have any 8K. Doesn't look like any information on 8K on any of these cameras. But again, I think the big thing here is that there'll be no overheating. So for those that are wanting to invest in a cinema style camera that has access to the RF glass, especially if you have either the R5 or R6, one of these two cameras could be a great investment as you step up into a cinema camera. This one does say that it will have no RAW capabilities internally at launch. That doesn't mean that it won't come in a firmware update. BPA batteries, price about $6,300 US. So a little more expensive, but still pretty good for the kind of camera that you're getting. They also look like they will be releasing two X series cameras. So the XF505, specs here on the screen for you guys if you're interested, as well as the Canon XC20. So again, a replacement for the XC10/XC15. And these could be great cameras as well, especially for those that are really looking into B or C cameras, or those that are setting up a nice little YouTube home studio. These could be great primary cameras to be able to use for that as well. So very, very cool. So now on to Apple. And Apple released new iMacs this week. And this could very well be the last of the Intel iMacs. We're not 100% sure, but with Apple releasing its own silicon, chances are that this could be the very last Intel iMacs that we see. So a few things. The 21-inch iMac didn't get much in regards to any kind of processor upgrade, but all of them out of the box right now come with SSDs. So before they all ran on Fusion drives, now solid state drives across the board. That's 21 inches and 27 inches. So that's a huge, huge upgrade, because the Fusion drives, let's be honest, not a great option unless you wanted storage. But if storage is more important to you than speed, with the 21 inches, you do get an option, no cost upgrade. It's kind of a lateral upgrade, I guess, to actually do a custom build and take the SSD out and put the Fusion drive in. So if you want a 21 inch with a Fusion drive, still an option. Have at her. I though would choose, of course, to get the solid state, and if I really wanted more storage, I'd plug it in an external. Now the 27 inches, of course, got the prime updates, and there are a ton of reviews out there right now already talking about the new ones, so please head on over to some of the big YouTube sites to take a look at those. But some big updates for it, just to kind of talk about it. First and foremost, especially with so many of us now working from home, the iMac got a lot of upgrades, especially the speaker and mic array system. It's got that mic studio setup that they talk about that is actually very similar to the one on the 16-inch MacBook, which actually performs very well. It also now, and I think this is the very first computer that Apple has released that has this, actually has a full 1080p webcam. So the actual FaceTime camera now finally 1080 over what it's been forever at 720p. That in itself, for a lot of us right now, a huge upgrade. So we finally get a HD camera. Last but not least, we are seeing huge increases, not only the available SSDs inside them, but how big an SSD we can put in it in regards to customizing. These machines now can put in, I believe, 8 terabytes of solid state drive. If you want to spend that much money, up to 128 gigs of RAM, which is fantastic, and a new 10th generation 10-core i9 processor. And that's all available for those of you that would like to customize this machine up to that level. I know this is something that I'm looking at right now because I would like to get a new iMac. As I've stated for you guys, I do a lot of video work, and as much as I love working on my 16-inch MacBook Pro, I think working at a full desktop with a bigger screen would be something that I would enjoy working on even more, especially with that video work. And iMacs, for Apple users, easily one of the best bangs for the dollar, because you can just plug it in, install your software, and you're ready to roll. No messing around, it just works perfectly. I can install Final Cut on it and off I go. Right now, the question is, how much do I want to spend on one, as well as which model do I want to get, and do I want to do any customizations to it? So I am looking at that. I probably will do a video in regards to all the different kind of possibilities of the new iMac and send it out for you guys so that we can have a discussion in the comments, because I think firing back and forth with you guys, for those of you that are also looking at possibly buying a new iMac, you may also have some questions. Be a great way for us to kind of communicate back and forth. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys there. That's kind of it. Canon, new cinema cameras, new X series cameras, very cool. And Apple, iMacs. Last of the Intel? Possibly. Alright guys, I'm gonna leave you there for tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow. Later, my friends.